All right, I had said I was going to do this video about company drivers now. There's a few things. There's so many different ways I can go with about this. But this is all my personal things that I look at and personal things that I would check for if I was going to be a company driver with, company that I don't know anything about. First of all, you got to know if you want to do cents per mile or if you want to do percentage. I don't think either one is better than the other. Both have their advantages, both have their disadvantages. This even going back to the owner operator thing, some people get caught up in the amount of percentage they're going to get paid. Some people get caught up in the cents per mile they're going to get paid. And, this company said they're going to give me 70 and you said you're only going to give me 50, in all actuality, you could honestly make more money with the company that's giving you less cents per mile because they're actually going to keep you moving. So I feel like it's the same kind of thing as an owner operator. You have to do your due diligence, percentage. Somebody can be paying you 20%, but, or 25 or 30 or 50. But if they're moving freight that doesn't pay worth a dang, you're not going to make any money. And then the other part is, after you figure out what style you want to make money and how you're going to make money, then you got to figure out how much home time you want, because that's another variable of how much money you can make doing what you do. Because if you're a guy that wants to be home every weekend or home every day, there's different companies for different things. If you want to be home every day, I would suggest, FedEx, UPS, stuff like that. But you got to remember with companies like that, rain, sleet, snow, you got to go. They don't care. Nighttime, daytime, most of those routes at those like FedEx, UPS kind of places, those freight hauling places is nighttime. There's that. Then there's, if the company offers benefits, most of the companies that are going to offer benefits are going to pay usually cents per mile and, or the megas, benefits, same difference. You got to understand that. A lot of people don't understand benefits. Some people think benefits, it's just going to come free. They still take something out of your check every week for benefits. The company's not going to full on pay for your benefits, So, if you work for an owner operator and you say, I want benefits, it takes money out of your check. Well, that's what any other company is going to do, unless you're working for some like big giant company, and they do something, they have a package or something. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to take something out of your check every week. And then there's, what kind of equipment you're going to be working. Are you going to be working dry van, reefer, flatbed, whatever. You got to kind of know what you like doing. And the other part about the equipment is also know what lanes you like to run. You got to know which areas like to go. If you don't know any of this, you're just going to have to get in and get your feet wet and learn it. But, but if you're an vet in the game, you kind of know where you want to go, what you like to do, where just all those different things you'll know pretty much going into it. And then there's e-logs, then there's paper, some of these you can work for owner operators and they run paper, it's not as much as it used to be, but it's still out there. And the other part I wanted to say about equipment too, is a lot of people get caught up on like, oh man, they got to have 2023 trucks. I'm gonna let you know this. Them new trucks, this is personal, but them new trucks break down more than the old trucks. And it's because of all the emissions crap. It's not because the motor and transmission aren't very nice. They're good. The newer trucks they're great on fuel mileage. They do a lot of things that the older trucks can't do. But when it comes to actually staying on the road, I know guys friends of mine that bought, 10, 15 trucks, and at least 3, 4 of them went in the shop within the first month of having them, and then they had to rent trucks and this, that, and the other. So I don't necessarily, like I said, with trucking, it's all about this and that. There's no real right answer. You can have your own program and, and say, I want new trucks and I want to make 70 cents a mile, this, that, and the other. And you get there and the guy, your friend that's working for somebody else that's paying 50 cents a mile is making more money than you because he's working for a company that can keep him moving, or that keeps him moving. But same thing, some companies they do a lot of dropping hooks and they can keep you moving. So it just, you know, and there's companies like Dollar General, you know, where you're lumping, you know, you're going to make a lot of money. Places like that, you know, your cents per mile is one thing, but then, you know, you're actually lumping the freight off the truck. So you can make a lot of money, you know. Then the other part, once you kind of get into it, is how the company treats you. How's the dispatcher treat you? How does the owner treat you? Whatever, you know. So there's a lot of things that you gotta, you know, keep your eyes on, and then, you know, make sure it's what fits your program. You know, there's companies where you're slip seating, you know, where you're another guy's driving it during the day and you're driving it at night, or vice versa. That can become a pain because the other guy may not be as clean as you, or he may not be a smoker and you're a smoker, vice versa. So, you know, these are, there's no real answer, but there's things that you have to know before you go into it, especially if you got your gear in, you know. You should, you know, definitely have a feel of what you like and what you want, you know. And then if you've had years in and you're, you know, going to move on to the next step, I'm going to tell you this, you know, I've had a lot of drivers do this. A lot of friends do this too. Don't chase the dollar, you know. Everybody, oh, this company's promised me they're going to pay me more money. May be true, but the company you're working for, you're supposed to be in at work at 9 o'clock in the morning every day, and you're showing up at 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning and doing your job, you know, this, that, and the other. So you have that leniency in the company you're working with. Then you're going to go from work for a company that you got to be there at 7 o'clock, rain or snow, rain, sleet, you know, whatever. They're strict on it. And so you lose that flexibility sometimes going to some of these other companies because you're chasing a dollar. You know, the dispatcher might treat you like crap. And what it ends up happening is you end up in a cycle of trying to find that company just because you left the company that treated you well because of, you know, whatever reason that made you mad, you know. So just be careful. Make your decisions based on what works for you and your program. Don't make your decisions solely based on money, because that is a recipe for disaster as a company driver. So that's my advice for y'all. Do what you want with it. Do what you have to do with it. That's it, man.